Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today I'm going to focus on this area in front of the Mario mural. And I'm going to do a couple of smaller builds because I don't want to block the mural because then it'd be completely pointless. And I think it should be an area where people are getting a bit of refreshment from a couple of stalls, and maybe it's a green area that I could even include a couple of park benches on. So I'm going to go down to the building desk and get started on the first one, which is something I've been looking forward to for quite a long time. Okay, so the first small build is going to be a kebab vendor. And here he is, the man himself, Bob, of Bob's Kebabs. Now Bob came with the set 70812 Creative Ambush from 2014. That was a Lego movie set, and it contained a few elements. One was a plane that had been made out of all pieces from a saloon in the Wild West area of the film, a micromanager, representing the baddies, of course, and a sort of aircraft made out of Bob's Kebabs, which obviously must have started life as a real-life kebab stand, but then had been turned into this craft as part of the story in the film. And as you'll know, everyone starts taking things apart and building something to fight for their freedom, basically, at the end of the Lego movie. So the first thing I did was actually re-look at the Lego movie film and see if I could see what Bob's Kebabs shop looked like in the movie before he disassembled it. But the only thing I can see of it, it's already been assembled as Lucy's giving her sort of rousing speech. So I can't use that as a reference point, but lots of people have attempted this transformation or something similar. And here's a few just spread out from a quick Google search, including Jang's version and all sorts of stuff like that. I hope they don't mind me showing you their versions. So I'm going to use all of these as bits of inspiration to make my own kebab stand. And if you want to do this, I'm going to show you how to build it, what parts you're going to need. I'm not going to go through all the part numbers and a complete part list or anything. You can see what they are. I'll hold them up and you can see them. But one thing you will need if you want to do it accurately is the sticker sheet from that set, because you're going to need the tasty meat stickers for the two sides. You're going to need the two blackboard stickers for the menu. You're going to need the Bob's Kebabs sign for the sign, and that's it. So it's these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers that we're going to need if you're going to do this build exactly like mine. Right, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to do this in 2 sections, basically the bottom and then the top, just because otherwise there's too much on the table at once. So the first thing I'm going to need is a 6 by 12 white plate. I'm going to have 2 by 4 black bricks on the bottom of that, just in from the sides, because that's going to be my base for my stall. Then I'm going to put 2 by 8 plates on the front, actually in one. Doesn't matter what colour these are, I'm using them with the colour scheme of this setup, but it doesn't need to be because they're barely going to be seen. Then I'm going to add some of these modified bricks that are 4 long onto the front, and this represents the rounding of the front counter. And the white 1 by 8 plate on there as well, so we've got that nice flat serving area. Then just so we've got a area for the lime green salad and the, what's that, slices of tomato, do we think, in there, and then we'll put that behind a windscreen piece just so it's got, what do they call it, a sneeze guard? Anyway, so it's protected behind there for the salad. Then we need a till, so I'm going to raise it up with a 1 by 2 white plate, a normal till piece, and just so it's not got a stud showing, I'm going to put a 1x1 round tile on it, just to give it a bit more flavour. And the 1x2 plate is just to raise it so it's level with the front of this curved bit. Then I'm going to have a metallic grill piece there, a corner tile there, and then a modified brick with clip with a 1x1 tile on the top, so we've got no stud showing at all, just like that. So then when Bob has made a nice kebab, he can put it in there while you're paying before you pick it up. So far, so good. Right, then for the sides, I want to have the menus visible like this. A couple of people have put it sort of joined together as one great big menu over the top. That's fine, but I've got a Mario mural behind this and I want you to be able to see it still. So I'm going to have it half on each side, and that sort of gives the illusion that they would sort of fold in at the end of the night or something like that. So I think that works quite well. So as a result, I need some clips on the side. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to need a 1x1 plate, a 1x1 plate with horizontal grabber, and put them underneath one of these modified bricks with a curve, so then they can continue the frontage like that, but also have the clip coming at the side. So that's quite important. And then I'm going to have the brick with a clip at the back corner. So we've got two clips, and I'm going to put a 1x3 brick in the middle. Actually, tell a lie, I'm going to have a 1x1 plate underneath that one, so it's a little bit higher because I need that for the spacing. And then I'm going to put the wing piece with the lovely tasty meat. Don't know what it is about the sign saying tasty meat. It sounds unappealing as soon as you say that. But there we go. So then we've got a nice smooth side. So let's do the same on the other side as well. 1, 2, and 3 for there. Then I haven't got another 1x3 brick, so that's the only reason why these are a 1 and a 2. That's fairly discoloured. Let's see if we've got a side that's whiter than the others. Put it at the back. And this brick at the back there. Wing piece. There we go. So we've got the good advertising from the sides. Very good. Right. Then if we put on top of the wing pieces another 1x1 modified plate, another 1x1 plate, just to make that a little bit higher. Do the same on the other side. Then we've got that sort of set up, and it's this pair of clips that are going to hold the menu on each side. So we've got this, and I've spaced them so when I've got a clip on the 1st and 5th that it's going to align perfectly with those two clips. So I do the same with the other one. And then we've got nice menus as well. Good, good. Then these other clips on the front are just so we can put some condiments on. And normally these would represent either fire extinguishers, or maybe they'd represent ketchup and mustard. But I think because it's a kebab van, we'll have to assume that this is super hot chili sauce, and maybe this is garlic mayonnaise. That's what I'm going for anyway. So we'll just clip those on the front so people can help themselves. Now this set uses largely the pieces from the genuine set itself, 70812, but there are a few pieces I've had to add just to get it perfectly the way I want it. Now it's very important for me that we had a great big lump of meat rotating as part of this setup. Some people call it an elephant leg, which is quite funny. And that's basically this cone, which is 3x3 going to 2x2 with just one more round plate on it to get the spacing right. And then we got one of these small cogs because I want to be able to rotate it by hand, and therefore I need this through a Technic pin, and that won't join onto that firmly, but it is enough to grip it, and this will get held more firmly in position in due course. But that's going to be the bottom of the elephant leg, as some people call it, or the Donna. And I've got this just to secure the bottom of this whole setup in position, so it will sit like that. And then this can rotate. Now it will be held from the top as well, so that will work well. I mean, you're barely going to see it rotating, obviously, because it's pretty uniform all the way around, but nonetheless, it's good fun. So there we go, there's the bottom section. Okay, so let's do the top section. So I'm going to do this as an entire section and then lower it down collectively onto the top, and then it all holds together very tightly. So the first thing I want to do is create the grill that heats the elephant leg or doner kebab from the side. And for that, I'm going to use 2 of these bracket pieces. And the first one I'm going to put on the controls, because they usually have a couple of burners and you can decide whether to have one on or both on. So that's going to be the one of them, and that the other. So we've got a setup that looks like that. Then I'm going to add one of these 2x2 round shoe type pieces that goes underneath boats often, things like that, and add a 1x4 plate. Still have to hold it together at this stage, and then I get another one of these in light bluish grey this time to bind everything together. So we've got this sort of two-sided piece. Then I'm going to use these grill pieces in this trans red just to represent these sort of hot grill bars for heating the meat, the tasty meat. So then we've got that. And then just so I can attach it to the ceiling, because it's going to be ceiling hung, I've got an inverted slope there, 2x2. So I'm going to put that sub-assembly to one side. Next sub-assembly is the top of the hot meat, and one of those, whatever that is, a Technic pin with a stick on it, and we'll shove the pin through, and then that can go on top of there. It's loose at the moment, but it'll all be sandwiched together tightly. Then we've got a hinge brick for the sign. Simple. Fantastic sign though. Bob's Kebabs. I think they're called kebabs. I've never really heard them called kebabs. I don't know if that's a sort of foreign thing or what, or if it's just because he's called Bob, so it's Bob's Kebabs rather than Bob's Kebabs. I have no idea, but anyway, it's a good sign. It's a good trade name. So then for the awning over the top, we need 2x8, 2x6 on the top, 4 more of these, 2 on each end. Okay. And then I've gone for red and yellow just because it's the same as the sauces and same as the sign and all the rest of it, so it seems like a good choice. I'm going to have them hanging off like that. So to give it a bit more support, I'm going to add a 1x4 yellow. So I'm going to go yellow, red, then yellow again, but this time with a red one, 1x4. So when it pops out the far side, it's all red, and on that side, it's all yellow. So it looks like that. Then I'm just going to continue this sort of colouring back. So I'm going to use a tile 1x1 there and there. And then the sign's going to go in the middle. So I need 2 1x1s plates this time. So we've got somewhere to connect the sign. Now you could just use more tiles here and here, but when I was designing this from the pieces in the set, you get quite a few of these, and you get the spare ones, of course. So I was inclined to use these, not to represent actual antennas that are picking up a radio wave or anything like that, but just some sort of extra decoration. I'm not wedded to them, but I put them on and haven't taken them off yet, so quite like that. I've got them on opposing colours as well, so it adds a bit of interest and brightness. So there is my awning. So I'm going to put the Bob's Kebabs sign on the middle top. And you can see that colouring is going all the way through to the back, which we won't see because it will be facing the mural, but nonetheless. And then these are just spaces that I had. I mean, you could use them in white or you could use them in any colour really, but these are ones I had, and that's the most important thing. You've got to use the bricks you've got. So there we go. So this is going to go on here, but I've got to take care that this pin will go into the round central anti-stud of this plate and therefore freely rotate, being held at the top. And I'm going to attach my grill setup to that end of the plate, and then the bottom will get supported by the lip of this side here. So let's see if I can do that. Oh no, something's fallen off. There we go. Let's do it with it attached here first. So you can see that's attached like that. And then we should be able to make sure that goes in there, onto there, onto there. If all's gone well, it all lines up. And there we have it. Bob's Kebabs. A lovely little build with menus, salad meat and tomatoes or chili sauce, Bob with his knife and the rotating kebab or elephant leg, the grill, not made with real elephants ever, don't worry, the controls for that, and then the salad bar and his till, of course. Now this doesn't have wheels or anything, so it's not sort of a mobile one, but sometimes they're just sort of kind of semi-immobile because they're there all the time, and maybe they just get locked up and have shutters somehow, I don't know, but we don't have to worry about that too much because it's always daytime and fine weather in Lego cities, isn't it? Good. Well, I think you'll agree that adds a lot of colour and is rather fantastic. So we should put that next to the mural in our new open area bit. Now I think we need more than one stall for food and drink, so I thought I would introduce the coffee hut from set 60097 City Square. And this is the first set that I think had the barista torso in it and so on. And what I love most about this is the fact that there's a coffee chain called The Coffee Chain. Fantastic name, brilliant. So I like that very much. And when this set was relatively new and people were parting it out or just selling bits of it because they only wanted the tram or what have you, I went through a lot of eBay auctions buying up individual coffee huts so I could have several of them in the city, because the joke I want to sort of have running through my city is one that really occurs in real life, is the fact that there's a coffee shop absolutely every 100 yards, isn't there? So I thought if I got as many of these as I could, then I could have one of these little huts selling coffee every 100 Lego yards or so, or 100 meters if you're European. So basically, I've managed to accumulate over the last couple of years 5 of these, believe it or not. Yes, 5. So I'm going to have one every few base plates just to really hammer home the fact that there are too many of these about in real life. Good fun. Now, This is great as it is. I really have to do very little. All I've done is added one of the fantastic takeaway coffee cups and some mugs for use on the benches nearby. But I wanted to add a 3D sign as well as the 2D sign. So I was looking for inspiration and found the set 41319 Snow Resort Hot Chocolate Van, which is a friend set from 2017. And the topper in that set is what I'm going to replicate on all 5 of my coffee chain huts. And in that set, obviously it was hot chocolate, it being a hot chocolate van, but I reckon a brown mug is a brown mug is a brown mug. So mine's going to represent a coffee mug. So first of all, I'm going to make a little plinth in black to match the hut roof. So I'm just using 2 more of those modified bricks in black and 3 1x2 plates just to make a sort of raised curved bit for the bottom of the mug. Put that on top of the roof. And then as for the mug, you need 2 1x2 inverted slopes and a 1x4 brick in brown. Then a modified brick, this case in black, it doesn't matter because it'll be hidden, but it's got the studs on both sides. A 1x1 brick, a brown headlight brick, 1x4 plate, a 1x1 plate, and a 1x2 curved slope, which makes the steam on the top. I suppose that'd be the cream on the top of a hot chocolate, but I still think it could be the crema, as they call it. Then one of these modified bricks again, but in brown now, to be the handle for the brown mug, and a 1x1 plate. Finish that off in a smooth way. And then for the sides, we use one of these. Now, these are available on Bricks and Pieces. So you can get one of those. They're usually used for sort of car roofs and things like that. I don't know if there's many uses for these in brown other than this set, but they are available, or were when I needed 10 of them. So you put one of those on each side and there you are. Now that's how it was in the set, but I'm just adding a 1x2 tile onto each side as well, just to make it a bit more smooth, because I prefer it looking like that. And then I can put that on top of my coffee hut with its removable roof. And I think that looks rather good. Fantastic. Right, let's get both of these two into the Lego room. Right, so before I place these, I've had a bit of a thought, and I don't really want this to be a huge pavemented area. I think I'd like it to be green. So I'm going to swap the 8x16 base plates underneath here that are dark bluish grey for green ones, and then probably even use some more normal plates to extend that green area out a bit to make it a little bit bigger, like I did with the Fun in the Park video. So let's do that first, and then we can see the area we're working with. There, that's a lot better. A lot more green and fresh looking, ties in with the green of the railway tracks and even the tree on Major Oak Hill. So I can place these now. I think Bob's Kebabs needs to go first. And yes, it will block some of the mural, but I think that's unavoidable. Otherwise, we'll have to have it completely clear. So I don't know, have that about there. And the coffee chain can go here, slightly staggered back. Okay, and then some park benches. These are just the standard ones that come with the coffee chain build. So I've got 5 of those, so I've got 5 of these as well. And I've just made one of the feet 1 plate deeper, just to accommodate for the fact that one leg's going to be on this green plate rather than the base plate. So I'll have one, say there. And I'll don't know whether I want to have the umbrellas on or not, because they're going to sort of obscure our view to a degree, but we'll see. Put them on to start with. There's one. Here's another park bench with a man with a cup of coffee, or if he's like me, tea. Okay, and then I should have somebody who's just got a kebab. So, have you ever seen anyone so pleased in your life? Nope. Good. So he can be walking away. So let's have him with legs in motion with that. Maybe he's going this way. Don't know. Excellent. So I think that's a good build. Now the reason for this is so you can still see the mural, but it doesn't sort of dominate. But also so there's a sort of a gap in the built-up nature between the old town, a bit of sort of low intensity, before we get into building some proper big buildings again here onwards into the city this way. As is tradition now, we'll go handheld. Get a kebab and the coffee chain. And I think this whole area is looking pretty good. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. I've just hit 900 subscribers, so getting to 1,000 would be absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, I'm planning something quite special for the old town just to finish it off. You'll have to wait and see. See you then!